Hello and Jai in my dear rising stars. I welcome you all to my session. Myself, your friend Navin Quadras. In this session, we are going to learn a reported speech, how to change our interrogative sentences from direct to indirect speech. In my previous video, I taught you how to change assertive sentences from direct to indirect speech, and in this video, I am going to teach you how to change our interrogative sentences from direct to indirect speech. Let's begin. First, what is interrogative sentences? Interrogative sentences are those sentences which we use to ask questions. There are total three types of interrogative sentences we have. First one, yes no questions. Second one is a WH question. Third one is a question tag. And in this class, I am going to teach you how to change a yes no question as well as WH questions from direct to indirect speech. Now let us begin. First, a reported verb. A reported verb we use asked or inquired. Just as I said, for assertive sentences we used said and told, but for interrogative sentences we used asked or inquired. Second, if it is a yes no questions. Yes no question is a question which begins with a helping verb. Either do, does, is, am, are, be verb, etc. For a yes no questions, we use a conjunction whether or if. Okay, whether or if. If the answer is certain, we have to use whether. If the answer is not certain, we have to use if. Okay, this whether and if we use as a linking verb. And for WH question, we don't use whether and if. Only the WH word like what, who, where, how, this type of words itself we use as a linking verb. Okay, then there is no punctuation. We have to remove all the question word, comma, inverted comma, etc. Also, if there is do verbs are there, do means did, does, do. We have to remove this type of words. Okay, if there are be verb is there, we have to convert. If there is there, it changes into was. Have changes into had. But if there is do verb, we have to remove a do verb when we convert a sentence from direct to indirect speech. Now let us take an example one by one. First one, both just said, do you write book? When we convert this sentence into indirect speech, first we have to see whether there is object or what. There is no object, so we have to write both just asked, said changes into asked, if I wrote book. Why it is wrote? Because do is a simple present tense. A simple present tense always changes into simple past tense. Right? Wrote. Okay. Both just said if I wrote book. Full stop. And we have to remove this comma, question word, etc. Another example. Donna said, did I play well, Petra? Donna said, did I play well, Petra? Here who is there? Subject is there. Then what is there? Object is there. So when we convert this sentence from direct to indirect speech, it becomes Donna asked Petra if he had played well. Why had here? Because they did. Did is a simple past. A simple past always changes into past perfect tense. Okay, that's the reason I have written had. And played is a third form of a verb. Okay, play changes into played. Third example, Petra, are you willing to work today? Laura, are you willing to work today, Laura? He is asking. So when we convert this sentence into indirect speech, just pay attention. Here the reporting verb is not given, especially here I have written said, etc. But here verb is not given, but the question word is there. So the particular sentence we have to understand that it is interrogative sentence. So interrogative sentence, what we have to use? Either whether, either asked or inquired. Petra inquired Laura. Laura, object is here. If is a linking verb we use. If he was willing to work that day. Okay, are changes into was. Okay, are changes into was. Present continuous changes into past continuous. And today changes into that day. Okay, today changes into that day. I said adverb always changes. Next, Donna Laura, do you like to chat with your God? Donna Laura, do you like to chat with your God? Okay, do is considered as a which tense? Do is considered as a simple present tense. When we convert this sentence into indirect speech, first we have to see here two ways we can convert. First, here it is not given any object. Okay, if the object is not given, what we have to think? We have to think me as an object. Okay, if the object is not there, the me is considered as an object. If there is object, for example, if two sentences are there, down there is another sentences is there, that down the person's name which is written, that is considered as an object. Here I will explain you both ways. Donna Laura, do you like to chat with your God? When we convert into a reported speech, it becomes Donna Laura asked whether I liked, because do changes into simple past, whether I like to chat with my God. Okay, why it is my God? Because I have considered me as a object, because the pronoun, the second person changes according to the object. Okay, the first person changes according to the subject, the second person always changes according to the object. Here me I have considered, but here you see, suppose here the name is written Petra. Okay, here name is written Petra, or down somewhere they have written a second sentence, they have written a Petra. Then what we have to consider? The Petra we have to consider it as a object. Okay, Petra we have to consider it as a object, and third person singular doesn't changes. See, Donna Laura asked Petra whether because whom he is speaking with now, whether he is speaking with the Petra. Okay, asked Petra whether he liked to chat with his God. Okay, with his God. Here I have written my. Why? Because object I have considered as a me, but here I have written his and he. Why? Because object I have considered as a Petra. Okay, a third person. Do you understand? Don't get confusion. If you get more doubt, you can call me and you can ask me, or you can comment on the comment section. I am always ready to give an answer. Next, Alifano. See, this is could. Could is considered as a model. Okay, let us see how the models change. Alifano, could you expound on this concept, Borges? Could you expound on this concept, Borges? When we convert into a indirect speech, it becomes Alifano asked Borges, because object is here. Alifano asked Borges if he could expound on that concept. Why that? Because this always changes into that. I said expression of a place, expression of a time always changes. Okay, expression of a place, expression of a time always changes. So this changes into what? That. Do you understand? Could. Okay, could doesn't change. If can changes into could, may, might, shall, should, will, would. Is it clear? Yes. Now next, Alifano, does she support during your journey, Borges? Alifano, does she support during your journey, Borges? Who is asking? Alifano asking. When we convert particular sentence into indirect speech, it becomes Alifano asked Borges if she supported during his journey. Why she supported? Because does is considered as what tense? It is a simple present tense, a third person singular. A simple present tense, third person singular, always we use a does. Okay, always you use does. Why I have written supported? Because simple present tense always changes into simple past tense, and I said we have to remove all the do verbs we have to remove. Okay, once again I read. Alifano asked Borges if she supported during his journey. You are. Okay, I said a second person always changes according to the object. Next, one more. Gonzalo, can you read without any? Gonzalo, can you read without any? Can is called as a models. Okay, I said can changes into could, may changes into might. Gonzalo asked, because there is no object here, Gonzalo asked if I could read without any. Okay, Gonzalo asked if I could read without any. Do you understand? This is about yes no questions. I taught you how to change a yes no questions from direct to indirect speech. Now let us take a WH questions. How to change a WH questions from direct to reported speech. The rule is, the first one is the same, the reported verb whether asked or inquired, reported verb asked or inquired. Second one, we don't use conjunction whether or if. Okay, for a WH question we should not use conjunction whether and if. Instead of that we have to use WH word. Okay, WH word, that is what, who, where, when, how, as a linking verb. Okay, when we join our two sentences, that is reported verb and reported speech, we have to join with the WH word. Third one, it is the same, there should not be any punctuation, question mark, there should not be comma or quotation mark. Now let us take the example. First one, Donna Laura said, where were you yesterday at this time? Donna Laura is asking. This is direct speech. When we convert into a reported speech, it becomes Donna Laura inquired. Okay, we can also write asked where I had been. Why? Because a present continuous tense always changes into past continuous tense always changes into past perfect continuous tense. Where I had been. Okay, verb changes into had been. Yesterday changes into previous day. Why? Because expression of place and time always changes at that time. This changes into that. Once again I say, Donna Laura inquired where I had been previous day at that time. See, one more thing we have to keep in mind, when we in reported speech after question word we have to write a subject. Okay, though here after for a direct speech after word, after WH word there is helping verb, but when it comes to a reported speech, so after WH word we have to begin sentence with the subject. Okay, either noun or pronoun or any other word, any other noun. Where I had been previous day at that time. Is it clear? Now second one, Petra said, where are you going now? Petra said, where are you going now? The sentence becomes, Petra asked where I was going then. Okay, there should not be question mark. Then after WH word, what's supposed to come? The pronoun. Then helping verb, then main verb, then final the remaining part. And this is about yes no question. May I come in, sir? Both just said. May I come in, sir? Both just said. Okay, when we convert this sentence into indirect speech, it becomes both just asked if ye might come in. Okay, both just asked if ye might come in. Full stop. May changes into might. Okay, modals changes, can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, etc. Now one more. Okay, similar type. Here the reported verb is not given, but by the type of sentences we should understand what the reported verb is. Okay, here instead of reported verb what we have given? We have given a colon. Petra, what does Senora wish? Petra, what does Senora wish? I said here only. Okay, the do we always remove. Okay, do, does, did, this type of words we have to remove in interrogative sentences, in all the sentences. Okay, except it is a negative sentence. If it is a do not, it changes into did not, or if it is a does not, it changes into did not. Otherwise we have to remove do verb. Now this particular sentence, when we changes into indirect speech, it becomes Petra asked what Senora wished. Okay, because does is a simple present tense. Simple present tense always changes into simple past tense. So wished. Okay, instead of wish I have written wished. Next, Alifano, what are these metaphors? Alifano asked what those, okay, what those metaphors were. Okay, I said Alifano asked what, after what supposed to come? Those metaphors, okay, those metaphors were, okay, after the noun only we have to write a helping verb. If there is a main verb, then we have to continue. Next, Gonzalo, what do you wish Petra? Gonzalo, what do you wish Petra? Okay, WH word also is there, then do word also is there, so both are there. So what we have to do? WH word only we have to consider as a linking verb. Okay, here also there are two verbs are there. If WH word is there, then a helping verb is there, then what we have to do? WH word we have to consider it as a linking verb. If there is only helping verb like do, does, was verb, then only we have to take whether or if as a linking verb. Okay, here WH word is there, then do word is there. So when we convert particular sentence into indirect speech, it becomes Gonzalo asked Petra what he wished. Okay, Gonzalo asked Petra, because object is here, what he wished. Suppose if there would be no object, then what we supposed to do? Me is considered as an object. What we have to write? Gonzalo asked me what, instead of he, what it would have come? What I wished. Okay, I said the personal pronoun, the second person, that changes according to the object. Next, Laura, why have you been in America, Gonzalo? Laura, why have you been in America, Gonzalo? Laura asked Gonzalo why he had been in America. Why have been? Okay, have been changes into had been. Why? Present perfect continuous tense always changes into past perfect continuous tense. Why he had been in America. That's all. Laura, how do you account for his conduct, Gonzalo? Okay, here I have written only G because place is limited. That's the reason I have written G. This G is considered as a Gonzalo or any other word. Okay. Laura asked Gonzalo how he accounted for his conduct. Okay, why I have written accounted? Because do is there. Okay, do is always considered as a simple present tense. Simple present tense always changes into what? A simple past tense. That's the reason I have written accounted and I have removed do. Okay, do, does, did we have to remove from the sentence. Is it clear? Yeah. It should not be C. Okay, if it is C, then sentence is considered as a wrong. Okay, this do word should not be there in a sentence. If there is be verb is there, that is was verb, that changes according to the rule. Okay, like are changes into were, have changes into had changes into no. Okay, had doesn't change. Petra, how did you guess correct meaning? Laura, how did you guess correct meaning? Laura. Okay, this how is also considered as a WH word. Okay, though it that doesn't begins with the WH, yet it is considered as a WH word. Petra asked Laura how he had guessed correct meaning. Okay, I said did always changes into had. Why? Because did is considered as a simple past tense. The simple past tense always changes into past perfect tense. What is the helping verb of past perfect tense? That is had and third form of a verb. Okay, this guess is the third form of a verb. Instead of guess, if there would be a right, then we are supposed to write written. Okay, written. Last one, Gonzalo, what have I cared about birds? Gonzalo, what have I cared about birds? Okay, for example, I have given, when we convert the particular sentence into indirect speech, Gonzalo asked Petra, this speech is considered as a Petra, what he had cared about birds. Okay, what he had cared about birds. Why had? Because have changes into had. Okay, what he had cared about birds. Do you understand? Yes. In this session, I have taught how to change yes no questions from direct to reported speech, as well as how to change WH question from direct to indirect speech. Okay, the rules are similar, just we have to keep it in our mind. The reported verb we always use asked or inquired. Okay, nothing else. Second one, if it is a yes no, we have to use whether and if. If it is a WH word, the WH word itself we have to consider it as a linking verb. There should not be punctuation. And if If there is do words are there, we have to remove. Then finally we have to keep it in our mind how the personal pronoun changes. Okay, I have already taught in my previous video how the personal pronoun changes, how the first person changes, how the second person changes, how the third person remains as the same. Then when it comes to a reported speech, okay, reported verb is a fine. When it comes to a reported speech, first WH word comes. After the WH word, what's supposed to come? Okay, we should not write helping verb. Before the helping verb, we have to write a subject. Okay, subject, whether it is a noun or pronoun. Especially I have written I, then here I have written I, or here I have written E. What all subject comes, that we have to write first. Then we have to write a helping verb according to the rule. How the helping verb comes, the verb changes it to had been, then the sentence continues according to the rules. Okay, is it clear? If you have any doubt, you can comment on the comment section, or you can direct call and you can ask me. I have written my number in the description. Thank you, students. In my next video, I am going to teach you how to change imperative sentences. Okay, assertive sentences I have taught, interrogative sentences I have taught, and how to change an imperative sentence from direct to reported speech. Okay, my dear students, wish you a happy and joyful day. I will meet you in my next video. Bye.